Welcome to the Bitcoin predictions for the month of August, but none of this is financial or investment advice. I'm Jack, I'm an engineer gone crypto astrologer. I combine technical analysis with astrology. Please ignore the spam bots in the comments below and watch this video all the way to the end because I'll be giving some critical Bitcoin predictions at the end. Smash the like button because if we get this video to 300 likes this month, I'll make an XRP, Ethereum, Solana, and Sui video for August. And let's take a look at the previous predictions now. This is from the video from last month's predictions. Let's see how accurate I've been. Last month I made this video, so let's take a look here. I got to get the audio right. Okay. So here we go. For the astrology enthusiasts, Mars is in the sign of Virgo, and historically, Mars in Virgo translates very well for Bitcoin. Bitcoin historically has done very well when Mars is in Virgo. So we take a look at the astrology. Mars is right here in Virgo, and how long is it going to be in there? All the way through, let's go all the way to August 8th, I believe, August 7th. And that's when it switches into Libra. Libra is also quite bullish as well for Bitcoin. If we look at the data here, it does very well in Virgo, also quite well in the next bar here. After this, the red arrow, you go to the next bar, and it does quite well in Libra too. So that's painting us some bullish momentum there. We'll definitely take that. Now, Bitcoin seasonality, historically, this is how Bitcoin does throughout the months of the year. And July, it does pretty well. I'd say almost about average. Nothing to get super excited about, but we'll take that. 10% for July, Bitcoin does well. August is less, and then September is the... All right, so I was saying some good things there with the Mars astrology, and then July typically does really well. And now let's see what I was saying towards the end of the video here. Extremely difficult to predict. More volatility and unpredictable swings in price are likely because we have Uranus switching signs into Gemini, bringing just major volatility. We have Neptune stationing retrograde, which can bring a little bit of a stall. So I still think, I'm leaning bullish for July. I think we'll likely get higher prices. We could even get an altcoin run. But if not in July, I would say definitely in August. And so for that. All right, so yeah, July was very difficult to predict, but I was saying here, more volatility, unpredictable swings in price, yet likely higher prices in July or August. And man, we did extremely well in July, so we will take that. All right, let's dive back in here. Let's get things up and running. Okay, let me make sure I just got to update something here. We are live. Smash the like button being live here on this beautiful YouTube channel. Okay, so let's dive in for the astrology levers. That's what we do on this channel. We'll dive into the general August astrology. We have on August 8th, for the general astrology, we have Mars opposing Saturn and Neptune. Since Saturn and Neptune just ingressed into Aries, this is typically very negative. But in addition, we have a lot of other things going on here with these transits. On August 8th, we have Mars trining Uranus. Now, Mars can be an explosive planet, and it's trining Uranus, the planet of technology and crypto, on the same day that it's opposing Saturn and Neptune. So typically Mars opposing Saturn and Neptune would be super negative and very concerning, and we could get a correction, but the fact that it's also trining Uranus is really brings some balance, a lot more balance to this energy. And then on August 10th, Mars is also going to trine Pluto. It's making a grand trine basically to Uranus and Pluto from August 8th to 10th, which is very, very positive. So it's interesting that we first get that, negative on August 8th, but then also a very big positive. Then on August 11th, we have Venus conjuncting Jupiter, which is very positive because Venus is the planet of money and what we value and love, and it's conjuncting Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion. It's a very positive planet, so August 11th looks good too. Saturn is sextiling Uranus on the same day. That is very positive. And August 15th, we have Mercury sextiling Mars. Mercury, the planet of trading, is making that positive sextile, so that's really good as well. So I mean, overall, I mean, there's a lot of positives in August, which is I'm very happy about. August 25th, we have Venus trining Saturn. Venus, the planet of money and love and what we value, making that positive trine to Saturn, which can bring slow and steady growth. In August 27th, we have Venus sextiling Uranus and trining Neptune at the same time. Very, very good energy here towards the end of August. The only thing, August 27th, we have Venus opposing Pluto. Slight negative, but it doesn't have to be negative, actually. Just very slight there. August 28th, Uranus is sextiling Neptune, which could bring some euphoria, as Neptune typically can bring, that really kind of spiritual energy. All right, August, for the specific Bitcoin astrology, so this is specifically what transits the planets are making to the Bitcoin astrology chart. August 8th, we have Saturn squaring the Bitcoin Pluto. That is a slight concern. But then at the same time, we have August 8th through 13th, we have Mercury trining the Bitcoin moon. Now, the Bitcoin moon is typically a very sensitive area on the Bitcoin chart. But we're getting that positive trine. So that's very positive with Mercury, the planet of trading. And then on August 8th, we also get Uranus trining the Bitcoin progressing Mercury, which looks quite positive. It could be very positive, and I'm definitely liking that because Uranus is the planet of technology and crypto. It's making that positive transit. August 9th, we have Jupiter opposing the Bitcoin sun. Now, this can represent a culmination point. The last time we had this was in 2013, which correlated with a market peak. So very, very interesting there on August 9th. August 13th, we then have Saturn sextiling the Bitcoin progressing Mercury. Very positive. Saturn can bring slow and steady growth. August 25th, we have Saturn sextiling the Bitcoin progressing Sun, which is very, very positive as well. August 29th, we have Jupiter trining the Bitcoin progressing Venus. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, making that positive trine to the Bitcoin progressing Venus, which is, the planet of money and love. That's looking really good as well. I'm liking this. And now, as a bonus, guys, I thought I would add this bonus to this video. August Ethereum Astrology, as Ethereum typically leads the altcoin run. August 10th, we have Jupiter opposing the Ethereum Pluto. Now, this is a little bit negative, but I put down it could mark actually an explosive move because, even though Jupiter's opposing the Ethereum Pluto, Jupiter can bring big expansion. Pluto can bring explosive moves. So, man, that's looking really interesting. Now, that could go in either direction, but it's looking like things are, I'm thinking things are more on the bullish side for August. August 24th, we have Saturn trining the Ethereum progressing Mars, which is very interesting, which can bring some more upswing in price. That's looking pretty good. Now, let's take a look at the charts a little bit deeper. We got a monthly close coming up very soon. All right, let's take a look here. Looking at the charts, so here's the Bitcoin chart. We've gotten a little correction, but so we want to close this month. I mean, man, we're looking good. We're at 117,000, almost 118. We basically just need to close this month above 112K, and things are still looking quite very, very bullish. So that should be pretty easy. Looks like that's in the bag. Now, if we look at the total crypto market cap, we recently, if we zoom on the daily chart, we recently have gotten above the previous peak here. So I can show you guys specifically. So we had this peak back in December 17th, and we have recently gotten above that peak. So that is very, very bullish, making new all-time highs, which we like to see. We can even compare it to the, whoops, that's a little too far there. But yeah, new all-time highs, so that's extremely good. So we are in price discovery now. When we're making new all-time highs, we don't know how high we could go. The sky's the limit, the universe is the limit. We just keep on heading up. If we look at the monthly close, we basically, let me zoom in here. It's a little busy. So we look where we're at right now. We basically need to close this month. We want to close above this level from the previous all-time high here, which is at around 3.74 trillion. And so far we are above that level. We're at around, what are we at? 3.83. And so as long as we, close above 3.74 trillion, that's very good for the total crypto market cap. Now, if we look at total too, which is basically the entire crypto market minus Bitcoin, including Ethereum, we are getting a bit of resistance around this level at 1.54 trillion. Also want to go to the 2-week scale. So yeah, if we break through this level around this 1.54, that should be very, very bullish. Because I believe that was, if we look at the monthly closes, yeah, I'm not sure exactly why the 1.54 is important, but we're getting resistance at that level. I think it was some of the previous closes. Yeah, we're getting resistance there in January. We're getting some more resistance there now. So if we can break through that, that's really, really looking good. If we look at the stochastic RSI, we are, actually on the 2-week scale, we are still, we're still below this trend line. But man, we're getting really close. And if we can break through this trend line, that will be extremely bullish. So we'll see if we can make that happen in the coming weeks, particularly in August, which is going to be really important. The Bitcoin dominance is, it fell massively a couple weeks ago. And interesting that this previous week, we have this bar here where last week, Bitcoin made a run up here to about 62.7%, but then it fell all the way back down. So if you take a look, you see this, you see the body of the candle here, but there's a wick that went up here, and then it fell all the way back down. So there's actually a lot of selling pressure for Bitcoin and more buying into altcoins when we get a wick that falls down like that. So that's potentially pretty bullish for altcoins. Looking pretty good there so far. And of course, if we want to see an altcoin run, we need to see the Bitcoin dominance drop even further. So we'll keep our eyes on that for the month of August. Okay, let's dive back in here. Well, let me look at the current liquidation data for crypto. And it's interesting that if we look at here at the top area, the last 24 hours, we're getting major weighted for a lot of people are shorting the market right now. Typically when that happens, things get out of balance, and typically the market can snap back. So basically, typically the market does the opposite. So if people are trying to short the market right now, we might actually move up. But that's just in the short term, more on the daily scale. But so in the next 24 hours, we could actually move up. It's looking like a certain possibility. And this is a really interesting chart where it's measuring the altcoin season index. And typically when we head up into, according to this chart, when we head up into this altcoin season area, that is, in my opinion, can be a good sell signal, actually, at least for altcoins. When it's low, usually I tend to buy altcoins more, and when it's high, I tend to sell altcoins. We are just right in the middle right now. So if we are starting an altcoin run, I believe we still have further to go. We have not gotten overextended on this chart. So it's interesting. We're at the 47 level, which is almost right in the middle, where maybe people are still deciding, like, is this altcoin season or is it Bitcoin season? It's still not crystal clear, but we have been heading up since this recent low in June, getting some nice altcoin movement, some nice movement with Ethereum. Now here's the daily exchange volume. This has been on a downtrend ever since we got the peak in December, where altcoins peaked out, Bitcoin peaked out, and finally, I've been waiting on this for months and months and months. Finally, we got a big breakout with the daily exchange volume, which is very, very, very positive. If we continue to head up, then we could continue to get higher and higher prices for crypto. So definitely like to see that. All right, let's get back to here. Yeah, so we need to close the total market cap above 3.74 trillion. I'll be keeping my eyes on that for July. Now, interesting here, Mars, the arrow's a little bit off, but Mars is heading into Libra in August, I believe around August 8th, I believe. And typically that, according to this chart, Bitcoin does very well when Mars is in Virgo. And I mean, Mars is in Virgo right now. And so Bitcoin's been doing extremely well. And it continues to do well, maybe a little less better in Libra. So that's going to be happening in August. Still looking quite positive there. And of course, the month by month Bitcoin averages, August, Bitcoin does okay. Not amazing, but it does okay. Better in July. So we've gotten a huge move up in July. We could get a little bit more move up in August. You know, the average is 2.15%. But we'll take that. September is a lot worse. September is the worst month of the year historically for Bitcoin. So let's see if we get a little bit higher prices in August. It's definitely possible. Concern, and this could bring major volatility, is we do have potential Trump tariffs. Well, for sure, Trump tariff updates on July 31st. Let's tune into AI to see what AI has to say about this. I asked AI about, you know, how the tariffs could affect crypto and the markets. It's saying, you know, pretty obvious, you know, tariffs, if we get announcements where the tariffs are less severe than expected, where Trump is able to make deals with these countries, it could lift equities, stabilize sentiment, and support crypto. That would be positive, so we could get a pump on that. But if, you know, tariffs are very aggressive, you know, let's say 50 to 70% in some key sectors, this will clearly likely trigger a macro volatility, lowering stocks, and, you know, crypto could get a dump. If there's, you know, just kind of a stable trade deals announced, this could actually encourage a further rally, easing pressure on the Fed and bond markets. And then if we get surprise letters that, you know, we didn't expect, this could cause sector-specific wobbles. It would probably cause a correction in tech. So we'll have to really keep our eyes. It's actually happening August 1st, midnight Eastern time. So it's for most states in the United States, it's actually going to happen July 31st. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on that. But August remains a critical activation date for new tariffs, so markets will focus on pricing that event over the coming days. The release of additional letters before then could still surprise the markets, but major moves may be limited now that so much detail is public. Crypto may outperform as perceived safe haven if uncertainty spikes. Likewise, equities and commodities markets could spike or slide based on whether tariffs are milder or harsher than expected. So definitely chance for heightened volatility around July 31st, August 1st. Okay. And then the day before that, we get the Fed funds rate decision. And it still looks like the Fed is probably going to continue to pause rates. There's still a likely chance. I mean, if we could even look at the probabilities on the CME Fed watch here. Still 97, 98% chance that they're going to continue pausing. But it'll be based on what Powell says, the chairman Powell says at the meeting, could cause markets to either have a lot of volatility. If he talks about cutting rates in the future, then that could send crypto to the moon again. Well, we shall see. Major volatility on these dates. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already to receive critical crypto and astrology updates. Smash that button. And we do a quick announcement. We do have the Crypto Astro Mastermind. There's one more spot for July available. And to secure your spot, all you got to do is click the link below and definitely type in the coupon code. I'll share more about that. But when you sign up, you get lifetime access for monthly group calls with me. And you also get these special super high value bonuses. I recorded this Altcoin Astrology Masterclass very recently, where I dive into this altcoin specific astrology for the rest of 2025. So highlighting exactly likely when there's chances we're getting an altcoin run and when we're getting major corrections. Now that's very volatile for the next few months. So you'll definitely want to check out this amazing altcoin astrology masterclass. I dive into Ethereum, Solana, Sui, XRP, Render, and Cardano. I believe HBAR as well. So get access to that when you sign up, and you get exclusive peak I'm going to be giving an exclusive peak profit formula training. And this training will be all about how to maximize your profits near the market peak, which could be coming very soon. So that could be extremely valuable for your hard-earned gains. Special bonus as well is an opportunity to apply for a Peak Profits one-on-one high-value session with me, with yours truly. This is easily a $997 value. Today, when you sign up, you get this complimentary. So you could apply for that session, and if you're approved, you can schedule that with me. Now, there's one spot left in July. Once again, you get lifetime access. That means you get all the monthly calls with me in the future with just one payment today. After July 31st, there will be no more lifetime access. So then in August, in the coming months, it will be an annual payment, a monthly or an annual payment that will continue. All right, so act now. Enter the coupon code on the checkout page to the moon. If it doesn't work, that means the last spot was already taken. All right, now the moment you've been waiting for. So the Bitcoin predictions, we will likely get major volatility to start the month. Just like I was talking about with the Fed funds rate decision as well as the Trump tariffs, there's going to be a lot of volatility. It could go in either direction. It's very difficult to predict. But overall, it's looking pretty good. Bitcoin could have a local peak around August 10th is what I'm thinking. Or perhaps even later in the month, because we're getting so many positive transits, one after the other, even in the second half of August. Ethereum, in my opinion, is hinting at a further altcoin run. So that'll be very interesting to see if we can get that altcoin run in August. Would be very exciting. If in that case, I plan to take some profits. All right, so it may be 20%, something around there, maybe give or take something in that level. All right, share this video. If you got value from this, give it to someone who would also benefit from this video. Really appreciate spreading the message of what I'm sharing in these epic videos. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. And take a look at these epic photos. I just got back from this amazing experience, this Mount Shasta spiritual retreat. Yes, I love being out in nature. Yes, I love meditating. Yes, I love tuning into spirit. And this was an amazing, amazing experience. So special. I really love the nature and the community. And man, on our last picture on the last day, there's a rainbow that came over the mountain and we took a picture. It was so, so epic. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Let me know what questions you may have. In fact, I could take a look really quick here. Let's pull this up and see if we have any live questions. BNB, TRX, and Telcoin prediction, please. I don't have any of those coins. I don't know. I would need the birth date and birth time and location of those in order to do that. Love and gratitude for your work. Thanks for your updates. Much love, Ronald. Really appreciate that. Thanks for your work from GG. Appreciate it. Please, Ethereum pump further. Which prices do you aim for Ethereum's peak this bull run? Man, I mean, it's going to surpass the previous all-time high, most likely. It could send to 8,000, 10,000, 12,000. I mean, there's even estimates of 15,000, 16,000. So I'll probably be selling once it gets to around, 8,000. Maybe I'll sell 20%, then 10,000, another big chunk, and continue to sell as it goes up. How long does Mars stay in Libra? Okay, we could look at that really quick. Mars, we look at this planet right here. Right now it's in Virgo. It's going to go into Libra. And it's going to stay in Libra all the way till right here. September 22nd. Wow, it's going to be in there for a while. Oh, one major concern is, go to this chart. I'm going to zoom out. Take a look at the blue lines. Okay, this fat blue line right here. I made it really big so you can see it. September 8th, we have a total lunar eclipse. This is a very, very big concern. The past time we had it, we had a major dump with crypto. I mean, altcoins just got absolutely demolished. And look at this huge dump. Even for Bitcoin, we had a 30% dump coming into this total lunar eclipse. We're getting another one on September 8th. So that's a big concern. That's why I'm planning to sell some crypto in August. All right. We do have that Mars in Libra, which is a slight positive. But man, I don't think that will outweigh the total lunar eclipse concern there. So just wanted to share that. I think that's really important to note. Shannon says, Jack, how, if at all, do you incorporate meditation into your financial work decisions? Wow, that's a beautiful question. I love that question. I love meditation. I probably could do more meditating, but I do meditate really throughout my day. It's become a part of my life. I love going out in nature meditating. I love taking long walks every day. I love getting fresh air. I mean, meditation, you don't have to sit down and just meditate. You can meditate throughout the day while you're walking, while you're doing the dishes. It's just a practice of being very, very, very present. So I incorporate meditation throughout my day, every day. So I absolutely love it. It's life-changing. Beautiful rainbow. Cheers from Frankfurt, Germany. Yes, it was absolutely amazing, astonishing. Super amazing rainbow. Since everyone expects September correction with 7 September total lunar eclipse, do you see another leg up until November, December, or the top can be in September? I think we could have another leg up. I do. So the end of the year, Q4 is looking very good as well. So that's very exciting. So I'll have to tune in to see what happens in September. I might buy the dip, but I'll keep you guys updated on that. So definitely subscribe so you can get more updates on what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, looking at the crypto charts and the crypto astrology. Much love, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.